Hello scholars, today is Word Problem Wednesday. Okay, and on Word Problem Wednesday, we know if we're using the 3-read strategy, we are going to read this 3 times. The first time that we read it, we are just going to make sure we visualize and we find the verbs. Okay, so we can really tell what's happening in the problem. The second time, we are going to make sure to label on our problem, okay? And the third time, we are going to add in the numbers, okay? So after, when we set our paper up, we set it up in 4 boxes, and we can do the visual in the first box, strategy 1 in the second box, strategy 2 in the third box, and the reason we do two strategies is so that we can really check our answer. Okay, and then we have our explanation in the fourth box. Okay, today's problem is about Jaden. So we have Jaden bought 114 note cards. Oh, whoops. I'm not supposed to think of the numbers the first time because the numbers can complicate things and they can confuse me and they can scare me if they're big. So I just leave them out and I figure out what's going on so that I can decide if I need to add or subtract. Jaden bought some note cards. All right, bringing my visual in, there's Jaden, and here's his pack of note cards. He used 70 of them. He used some of them. Okay, he used some of them. So I like to show the arrow going out. Okay, I'm thinking he used them, he probably wrote on them, and then maybe when he was done with them, he threw them away. But anyways, that means some of these cards have been used, and he cannot use them again. They're used. They're written all over. Okay, I can think of this in my mind. Now I'm going to read it a second time and label. I do not read the question until the end. Jaden bought some note cards. Okay. I know. Bought, he got them from a store. He has them now. And then he used some of them. And usually if I have a note card, I would write on it. And then maybe it's being thrown out when I'm done with it. Okay, so I think if he's getting rid of it in some way, it's probably going to be subtraction. So I'm going to write subtract here because that's what I'm thinking so far. But I know I need the question before I really finally decide. Okay, because when we get rid of something, it goes away. When it goes away, the number gets smaller, so we subtract. Let's see if that's truly what it is. The third thing is I need to add back in the numbers. Jaden bought, he has 114 note cards to start with. So I'm going to put 114 on top of the note cards. He used 70 of them. Okay, so 70 of them are going away. Goodbye. Okay, how many note cards did he have left? Oh, okay, so this really is like after he got rid of some, how many were still with him? Okay, I see the word left, and I know in Miss R's class you guys use cubes, so that would be one of those keywords that you definitely think about. So I'm going to put that here. How many are left? We don't know. And now I'm going to draw the model that I draw to think of the parts and the whole. Okay, I know he started with the most. He got rid of some. How many are left is my other part. Okay, so now I feel confident that I can write my equation. 114 is the whole, and if I'm subtracting, I always start with my biggest number. I take out, well, he used 70, and now we need to find what's left. Okay, and I am actually going to do it that way this time. Another way to write this number sentence that we practiced, or this equation that we practiced last time, was we could always do 70 plus some more note cards, the part that he didn't use, makes 104 note cards in all. Okay, but I'm going to use this subtraction sentence this time to show you a different strategy. This is called the number bond way. Okay, So let me rewrite that equation to give myself some space. Okay, so I know I have this 3-digit number that I'm going to take away from, but I only need to take away tens from it. I don't have enough tens here to take them away. I want to take away 7 tens, but there is only 1 10 in this number. So what I'll do is I'll pull this number apart. I'm going to decompose it or pull it apart. So I know that this number 114 is worth 100 and also 14. Those are the two parts. And I know I need to take out 70. Well, what I can do is make an easier equation for myself. I could start with the 100 from the 114 and take away 70. What's great about that sentence is that it only has tens here, because that's like 10 tens, and this is 7 tens, right? So all I have to do is think, okay, from 70 to 100, how many tens is that? If I take away 70 from 100, I know if I'm at 70 and I count one more 10, that's 80. Then one more 10 is 90. Then one more 10 is 100. So that's 3 tens. Oh, so the difference between them is 3 tens, which makes 30. Oh my gosh, okay. So now I know that 100 minus 70 is 30. But I still have this part of 114 that should still be there. Okay, so I have to add back the part that I didn't take away from. So that's this part right here. So now I do 30 plus 14. That's not so hard because I can take my tens and put them with my tens. That's 4 tens. And my ones and put them with my ones. That's 4 ones. So my answer becomes 44. So that must mean that Jaden has 44 note cards left. Okay, so let me come to strategy 2. I think I'm going to use my number line strategy. When we used the number line strategy last week to subtract, we started with the part that we knew and we counted until the whole that we were trying to get to, and the missing part is whatever's in between. So I go 70. I like that. That's already a friendly number. I'm going to count by tens. 80, 90, plus 10 more is 100, plus 10 more is 110. Okay, now I look at 110. I know to get to 14, I only need 4 more, so my last jump is going to be worth 4. Plus 4 more is 114. So now here's the part that I was missing. So this is the part that he still has left because he used that part. He used 70. And so let's see, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 44. 40 and 4 more makes 44. Oh, that's the same answer that I got up here. That's a really good sign. So I'm just going to point down here, that all makes 44. So then in my explanation, I will just say, let's start with the person's name. Jaden has, nope, he doesn't have 70 now. He has 44 note cards now, or left, right? Okay, now to explain, I would say something like, I know this because in the problem, it said to throw, he used 70 cards, and he started with 114. Oh, okay. So when I found the part he didn't use, I subtracted I subtracted 70 from 114 by counting by 4 tens and 4 ones to get from 70 to 114 on my number line. So what I just did is, if I covered up all this work and I told this to someone, they would still be able to understand how I got my answer. That's why an explanation is so powerful and so very important for you to try and master. I want you to really think about, like, what were the steps that I took in that strategy to get my answer, and how could I explain that to someone who's wondering how I got to that number. Okay, so give this a good shot this week. Remember, you can do the first 2 problems in the assignment that are kind of like mine, or you could do the last 2 that are a little bit more challenging. Please watch out. One of them is going to be subtraction and one of them will be addition, and you won't know which one until you carefully read the problems 3 times. All right, can't wait to see what you do, scholars.